Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? Megan and I here once again doing E3 stuff,
Woo!
shenanigans.
Let's go.
So yeah, we decided not to do the other 98 just because it had like some cool stuff in there that I think was pretty neat. It's mostly just the showing off more people like in costumes and stuff. Like I saw a Tomba costume when I was just like scrolling through it. So like it seemed cool, but it was just going to be a lot of the same games typically. So figured, we'll just we'll hold off on that one, right? Um, and do 99 instead. Do something new, right? Now
Yeah, I think that
99,
just makes more sense.
yeah, right. So 1999, Megan, 1999 should be full of some pretty good games.
Yeah.
Now, this one is one I found, which is titled, now this probably could be clickbait, I don't know. Lost Nintendo E3 1999 press conference by a fellow named Hard4 Games, which is a funny name. I've never seen any of his stuff. He has like near 100,000 subs though, which is pretty cool. So apparently he got this from a fellow named Justin, and we'll see a few more from him as well. So I think that's neat if someone sent him this footage, which means, yeah, it will be pretty hard to find. So this is the Nintendo press conference for 99. I couldn't find Sony. I couldn't find Sega. You know how it goes. It's hard to find pre like 2001, 2002. Let me see if I can find the stats here. I guess we can probably start it and then I'll find the stats. So you ready, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn down just a smidge. And since this is a press conference, we'll let it play through in full, I suppose. As
I
is
suppose.
tradition, right? Or what will be tradition? I hear Mario. If I could type E3.
Thank you and good afternoon. Welcome to E3, probably the single best moment in the history of the interactive entertainment business.
I wonder if captions work here.
Time for our event this afternoon will be approximately 45 minutes, and during that time, we want to speak about what a great time it is for the industry, the best products ever,
No, okay. I mean, seems like it's actually doing a pretty good job.
great prospects ahead.
Yeah.
So E3 99.
The back half of this year, single best
Once again, back in the LA Convention Center. Still was in May at this point. I guess they haven't switched to July or June yet.
Yeah.
No, no total for attendance on this one, but primary were still Nintendo, Sega, and Sony. For who the presenters were.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so still just your same basic trio.
currently facing the game as an industry on the content of certain of our games. I'd like to quote from what President Clinton said on Monday when he said, "It is a real time, a real need to put this whole thing in perspective." And the perspective is that as our industry has become so large, we have indeed have become fair game for some of this criticism. We're now in over 40% of the homes in America. Over 60 million active systems are in play. They bought over 125 million pieces of software last year. Never before have the demos been as broad as they are today. With over half of the game players over the age of 18. What does that all mean? It means that we are mass market, we are part of the pop culture, and we are there because we are delivering games against a broader array of demands and needs than ever before. This is no longer a niche product, but with that, we have an obligation, and we as an individual company and we as an industry must accept that. We have a wonderful rating system and acknowledged worldwide gold standard in ratings that we must
I mean, that is true. I believe this was still a time when it being like getting what the Nintendo seal of approval was still like pretty good. It did mean you're getting a pretty quality game, you know.
Yeah.
I think
No,
they
it was
still have
definitely a
that in
very important part
N64.
of their marketing for a very long time. I think it still even is, at least up until the 3DS. I'm not sure about the Switch.
Specifically, going by favorite source, Tris. Today, independent sales data from Tris NPD for the first quarter of the year shows that industry results are up 18% year on year, sales through in America. And we think the April results will come in.
Yeah, and once again, you know, gaming's still growing as an industry.
We expect that the total business will grow, that's the total hardware, software, and accessories.
You know, it's kind of funny because like
12 and 14
I saw a post on, yeah, look at that, 7 billion. So and is
Wow.
that just the growth?
happy to say that the story of Nintendo
I guess that's total revenue, it looks like.
I mean, that's pretty good. Considering just last year they're like in total for the games industry, it was like 15 billion. If Nintendo just got like if we're just talking Nintendo and they got like 7 billion of that, I wonder how much it's grown within this year.
Yeah, to be fair though, I think when they said that, they were saying that was the projected value of the market, right?
Okay.
I don't think it was like specific revenue that they made, but
Well,
or
well, with,
the games industry made in general, I should say.
well, yeah, but that doesn't really make much sense to me then. Simply because last year, I'm pretty sure they did say it was estimated at around 15 billion. So if it's
I don't
seven,
know.
then technically that's lower. I'm not too sure.
tie ratios of 7 to 1 on software, accessory
Hmm.
tie ratios of over.
Maybe I misunderstood or I'm misremembering from last year or this
Yeah, that's
year
okay.
even.
I could be wrong too, but I'm pretty sure they were just talking to a speculation that it would grow to 15 billion.
Maybe.
The industry, of course, is continuing to be
I'm not too sure. People that saw the 98 one would know better. To
Yeah, they
be
probably
fair.
saw it more recently.
today is still 80%.
Well, I mean, it's not like we didn't see it recently, Megan. We watched it last night.
I know, but to be fair, I was late and I was tired, so I probably just forgot things.
9% 1 year ago. The next gen
Oh, the handheld.
category
Taking a slice of the pie. Decent slice.
the way through its life cycle.
Yeah, because this would have been when the Game Boy Color was getting pretty big.
I believe so, because they did have the Game Boy Color being shown off last year.
Totaling another
Yeah.
7.5 billion that'll be realized in the balance of 9
But yeah, I actually saw something on Twitter before I got distracted the other a couple days ago about how someone was saying like, so where Megan and I live, oil is like a very, very kind of big deal. It's kind of how our province gets money, right?
Yeah, it's basically our main trade.
Yeah. But I saw someone on Twitter because I mean, to be fair, I do feel like oil. You kind of do need to get away from that fairly soon. It's not going to be as profitable at all
Yeah.
in the next like decade or so, probably.
Yeah.
And I saw someone on Twitter. He was like, you know, we need to expand our industries, and you know, we need to expand in like I don't remember what he said. I think he was like need to expand industries, and one of the industries he mentioned was like video game industry. And initially, I was like, okay, I don't know about that. That seems a little weird. But now I'm thinking about it, especially since we've seen all the stuff that you know how the games industry has grown so much since like '95 up to '99. It's got me thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of a growing industry. I don't think it's really
It is.
slowed down. So to be fair, you could probably have a pretty big industry if you just wanted to go all in and make our province like a gaming hub or something, right? Like a game makers hub,
Yeah.
kind of like what Quebec did, right?
Yeah, no, it would make sense. And I mean, we do have BioWare's main studio here as well. I think it hasn't moved. So,
I'm not too sure. I can't really say. Oh, episode 1 Racer, you're talking about this.
yeah. I like that game. It was fun.
It was fun.
That fantasy is right here. So have a look at this quick video on Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Every great game has its inspiration.
I do find it funny how they were titling it like that, probably because they expected pod racing to be more of a thing in the other movies.
Potentially. I guess that's true. They could have just called it, Star Wars Pod Racer or Star Wars Racer. Yeah.
They probably would have called it Pod Racer, to be honest, but I forgot you could customize your pod racers.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite things to do, actually.
I just remember trying the different pods because they had different stats. I don't remember which one I used the most, mind you, but I remember the snow level being pretty fun. I don't know if that's realistic. Does a floating vehicle have ice physics?
Good point. Very good point. Man, I need to play this game again. I know they have it on Steam now. I don't know if it's good on Steam, mind you.
Yeah, they had a more recent port that came out on like Switch and I think PlayStation as well. I was considering buying it again, but then I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna play it, so I haven't done that yet.
Like, if you never played the game before, I will admit it might not really look all that exciting. It really is fun to play, though.
It feels really cool with how fast you're going. Like I said, it feels very similar to F-Zero with the terms of speed and the physics and how they work.
Yeah.
At least from what I understand of F-Zero. I've never played an F-Zero game, so I can't say for sure. I forgot about this course. Did I ever get that far? I don't remember riding on the Death Star.
I'm trying to think if I ever did. It's a good point. During the race... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let's say, I know we played a lot of it, but I don't think we ever actually finished it.
It's kind of a good point, though, that I forgot about. During the races, couldn't it sometimes go into, like, a close-up cinematic view with the racer? I don't remember.
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. But I guess they were launching us probably pretty close to when the movie came out, right?
Probably.
America's going to need seatbelts in every family room to play this one. There's no doubt that the next big star of Star Wars...
Yeah, the movie came out on May 19th, 1999. So it came out 2 days before the movie.
Okay. That's cool.
That's interesting.
I'm pleased to tell you that we have him with us here today. From
Oh.
Southern California, 10-year-old Jake Boy. Please join me in welcoming him. Jake?
Man, there he is. That poor
legend.
kid, man. I really feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He didn't
I wonder if
deserve...
he did any...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I wonder if he did any acting after Star Wars Episode 1.
I don't think he did. I think he just got straight up bullied out of it.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel for him. He really didn't deserve that.
Well, no. He probably got that job because of his parents pushing him into acting and auditions and stuff.
Probably. Though, this is pretty interesting to see. Because assuming, based on what we've seen anyway with press conferences, this is one of the first celebrities that gets brought up in one of these press conferences. Like up on stage.
Yeah.
That we know of. So Nintendo started that trend. And then later on we'd get Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
The legend himself.
Someone also told me, though, Jake, that you've been finding a little time on the side to try out the new racer game. What do you think about it?
It's really fun, it's a really fun game. It's faster than most of the regular car games, because, it's pod racing, 2 engines. It's really fun.
That's great. And how do you think that N64 game compares with the experience in the movie?
Well, on the set, as much moving as I did the race with Sebulba, but this time I actually get to race with him.
Well, that's just great. We're all excited to see that movie in its entirety just a week from now. And we just want to thank you so much for joining with us today and giving us some
You know, I almost wonder, like, if Star Wars fans, now no offense to any Star Wars fans, but I've mentioned this numerous times in numerous streams before about how I feel about how some fan bases are and how
Yeah.
a lot of them can be pretty toxic, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Star Wars fan base wasn't so like rabid, excuse me, and toxic to a degree. I wonder if the Star Wars movie would have been more well received, because I feel like it went in with like, because I don't really remember it being like absolutely terrible. I mean, is it as good as the older movies? No. Well, maybe the one with Ewoks in it. Maybe it's on par with that. But just for
The first
Gemini.
Gemini.
But I don't really remember the movie being that bad.
I remember the movie itself being pretty alright. I think the problem is that because they were reintroducing the franchise, they wanted to appeal to kids with characters like Jar Jar, or like even a lot of the antics in the movie. So I think it probably just turned away a lot of the older fans, especially the ones who've been watching from the beginning, because they weren't in the age demographic anymore, right?
Yeah. True.
I mean, they did some weird stuff with the lore, mostly with the midichlorians was a little weird. But
I mean, that was
they were
weird.
at least trying something new, right?
Yeah, true. I forgot about the midichlorians, and so did they for every movie after.
But like the actual movie itself, like if you look at it, it's really not that bad. At least I don't think it's that bad. I enjoyed episode 1. I don't think I would enjoy it as much if I went to watch it today, but I don't think I would be as mad as people were. They just got too into the fan base, and like you said, a lot of fan bases are extremely toxic. I've even kind of seen that looking on Reddit with like the Ratchet and Clank Reddit, or some of the posts are like really, really bad. They just hate the new game for like no reason.
Well, exactly right. A lot of fan bases are just like that. That's why I try to not associate myself with fan bases.
Yeah.
Like I like something and I enjoy it, but you know, I don't really say like, okay, well, like I like Undertale a lot, but I would never say like I'm a part of the fan base. You know.
Yeah, I very rarely interact with the fan bases. I look at posts and stuff for some of the games I like the Final Fantasy Reddit for the games that I've played anyway, or like Persona and like I said, Ratchet and Clank. But I don't really engage in conversation with the fan base most of the time because they're either like, I don't know, maybe a bit too hopeful and delusional when it comes to possible reboots or what they could do with the games, or like they're just very toxic and very hating of anything new aside from the previous games or movies, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say in that regard, I'm probably a pretty casual fan. I'm not really involved in any of these communities. The closest would be like the Final Fantasy 14 community. I do read a lot of posts, and sometimes I post comments and stuff in there.
Understandable.
Because honestly, even when I played League of Legends, I wasn't really part of the community. I tried to stay out of it because it was just very toxic.
Yeah, I never get into a MOBA community. I never would. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure. Well, I mean, I was kind of like more in the Dota 2 community when I played it. It wasn't really all that toxic though, from what I remember. I mean, in the game, sure, you get like toxicity in the game, but I mean, I remember a lot of the fan base just being like memes.
Well, yeah, and like there's certain league pages, like some of the league Facebook groups that I'm in, they're just post memes. I like that kind of stuff. I just don't like the people who are constantly raging about every change in the game, or like people that are constantly complaining about the state of the game. It gets really tiring.
Yeah. You know, one game I want to actually buy that I should add to my wish list, not my wish list, my list of games I want to own.
Yeah.
Is Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I really want to own Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That game is actually like, it's okay. It's not great, but like it's okay. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
December from Rare. You play the role of a heroine called Joanna Dark, who's out to uncover the nefarious deeds.
I do want to eventually one day play Perfect Dark.
It's really fun. Really, really fun. I don't own it, unfortunately. That should be one I should own. But I played it a lot when I was younger.
Moving on to where I was
Through rentals, you know, back in the day, as one does.
64, one of the
Yeah.
consistent questions that have been on our phone systems and writing programs day after day, week after week was, hey folks, where is Donkey Kong? Well, I'm happy to announce that Donkey Kong 64 does arrive
Yeah.
this season on November the
They're gonna show the DK rap.
Maybe.
fully three-dimensional adventure. As popular as Zelda was 1 year ago, I'm sorry, Mr. Miyamoto, but we think it's because we also have more hardware systems involved this year. Donkey Kong 64 is going to shatter that record-setting performance that we achieved last year. It'll be back with a marketing budget of over $12 million. It's going to be out merchandised, out pre-sold, out advertised, anything that we have ever done before. And we expect that we will sell through in excess of 2.5 million pieces of this title come holiday season next year. Take a look at why I'm so optimistic about that.
Relax. Unwind a little. Stretch it out.
Stretch out, did my boy Lanky.
Let loose.
Yeah.
Because the brand new
Oh.
three-dimensional world
He climbed right through the mushroom top.
soothing, familiar place.
Wrong. Also, my boy Chunky.
You better hang on, because Donkey Kong 64 is going to be the holiday smash of the century. This is one gorilla who's bigger and badder than ever. And he's living in a gigantic new world of 3 dimensions, whose boundaries have been exploded by the sheer power of the expansion pack and Dolby surround sound.
I kind
Oh.
of find it interesting that this early into the N64 lifespan, they actually had the expansion pack in games that required it.
Well, they actually needed it for DK64, right? Like, that's what they made it for, right? I'm pretty sure that was.
Well, yeah. And they needed it for Conquer too, right?
I don't remember. I know they needed it for Majora, I think. I think Majora's Mask needed it too.
Yeah, this might have been the first game that actually needed it, because I think, like we were talking about, when Rare redesigned the game, it got delayed quite a bit. Because didn't Conquer come out in like 2000 or 2001?
Probably. Because what we saw last year seemed like a lot. And if they did rebuild the whole game, then probably would come out around like 2000, 2001. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I paused because I want to point this out. This is the different Jackbox design
Oh, is
than
it?
what's in the game. Yeah.
Okay.
They changed it. So that's interesting. Because I think it's more like kind of, it looks a bit more duck-like, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure than like a clown. So that's interesting.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to scare away people who are scared of clowns.
That's probably it.
This is the genius of Rare at work, discovering and delivering the true potential of N64 as it was meant to be.
Yeah, so you feed the banana.
Boink, boink. Is that the pig from Diddy Kong Racing?
I don't believe so. That's Pig. He's
Okay.
pretty big, and he's also a wizard. It might be the same model, just shrunk down and close
I
your
mean, it
move.
does look like the same model to me, but I don't really remember a lot from the story of Diddy Kong Racing. So,
And in this challenging world, you'll need all the help they can give you.
Yeah, Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong Country 64 or whatever is Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. It's too much of a collectathon for me, is the problem, you know?
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty bad with that, mostly because there's a lot of collectibles you can only get with certain Kongs. So,
Yeah.
like, you walk past a lot of them, but you can't pick them up until you go back and switch Kongs. So it's a lot of walking back and backtracking.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, to be honest.
Yeah, because I never played the single player, but we did rent the game a couple times. We played the multiplayer, and I remember that being fun.
There's plenty of just plain fun, too, with a raft of games within the game. There are more engaging play opportunities here than a barrel of, well, you know. Donkey Kong 64 is a juggernaut. An epic-sized action-adventure with the single biggest launch budget in history. Get ready to watch pre-sale records tumble. This is one holiday monster with a future even...
They were really banking on Donkey Kong 64, huh?
That's right, we said bigger than Zelda.
Yeah, they were, apparently. I mean, if they're saying it's bigger than Zelda, they were kind of delusional. But
Yeah, because this game didn't really sell super well, did it?
I don't remember, to be honest. Whoa, hold on there.
Ooh.
Did you see that? Donkey Kong's packing an actual gun in this one.
Oh, nice. They must have changed that.
I assume they must have. So this must have been a really early build where they actually had, like, guns. Before they made them more cartoony. I mean, they're still shooting fruit, but yeah, I guess before there was a time where it was like an actual proper gun. Okay, that's cool.
So I just looked it up. So Donkey Kong 64 sold 2.3 million units by 2004, and it won the 1999 E3 Game Critics Award for Best Platform Game and multiple awards and nominations from magazines.
See, that's kind of the thing, right? I remember it being popular, right? But I didn't know if that was like real or if that was just me thinking it was. Because I think
and then just look. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. Because I think like it was only not super long ago that people are like, yeah, it's actually kind of like boring and not really very fun just because you got it's too much of a collectathon, right?
Yeah.
Systems, which came in last holiday season, are leading our plans this year to sell over
So I was just looking at the best-selling N64 games as well, and it is number 7 on the list.
Okay, so it's sold super well.
It seems like it sold super well.
10 weeks, Game Boy has been selling in the U.S. at the rate of 100,000 pieces a week, the kind of sales levels that we have only seen historically at holiday time, meaning that an 11-year-old Game Boy, that good old 8-bit processor, is going to do more in 1 month than what Dreamcast is estimated to do in the balance of this year.
What?
They're just putting down Dreamcast.
Oh yeah. That's pretty funny. Man, poor Sega, dude.
Yeah.
The Smurfs Nightmare and more, including an edition of Star Wars Episode 1 that will be launched in October. In all, as I said at the top, we're going to have some 50 first and third party dedicated color titles by the holiday this year. But there's no question that Game Boy Color's phenomenal results are also being fueled.
Oh, is this where they announced Yellow?
Maybe.
By one huge game phenomenon, and of course I'm referring to none other than Pokemon.
Yeah. Now, Pokemon Mania would have been spreading for sure by this point. Like in North America, I mean.
Yeah, honestly, like, I want to say after Yellow would have been the peak of it, like right before Gold and Silver came out. But Gold and Silver was also extremely popular too, so.
It happens to be also one of the best intro level games for the younger players because
That's true. It is a very good intro game.
adventure and RPG.
I mean, yes, I did play it a lot as a kid, and it was very easy to understand.
Trading. But the craze is only beginning, because not only will red and blue Pokemon continue to set the world on fire through the balance of the year, we will be launching for Game Boy Pinball.
Nice.
On June the 28th.
I love Game Boy Pin. I love Pokemon Yellow. There you go.
And then we will
I
Yeah,
love Pokemon Pinball too.
Pokemon to the N64 platform.
pinball was fun.
Pokemon
I really liked
Snap
Ruby and Sapphire
July
pinball. I hope they make
26th.
another spin-off sometime. I think it'd be fun.
Well, and the announcements Pokemon Snap and Stadium too, all in 1 year.
That's true. I guess they did all come out around the same time. That's pretty crazy.
Because in this game,
But it makes sense with how popular Pokemon was after the first two games out. It doesn't surprise me they were trying to put out as much as possible.
as they tour those worlds, they then capture those images of monsters they found digitally within the cartridge, and they then will take that cartridge down to one of the
Oh, and they're talking about the Snap printer.
Yeah, must be. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. One of my dreams is to literally own one of those printer machines. Not because not because I think it'll actually work. I think you need to probably buy a very specific type of thing, paper, to
Yeah,
be able to print it out on. So I don't know if I would ever actually go that far, but I would absolutely love to own one of those machines.
I would be really cool. I imagine they probably go for quite a bit of money though.
show appearing once a week. We'll go to 6 times a week starting at the end of summer. We're also going to see the Pokemon feature-length movie.
Oh yeah, the movie came out this time too, in like 2000? Or no, the first movie was 99.
Yeah, first movie was 99, and I know that because Pokemon, the second movie was Pokemon 2000, because it came out in the year 2000.
Yeah, I didn't realize they came out that close, but I guess at this time, like, Pokemon movies were basically once a year.
Well, plus at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a couple of movies out in Japan already. I had that one.
That's true.
Of Wartortle, that's the ball form of Squirtle.
All the kids in where I live play it.
So they call me Pokemon Freak. We have like the Pokemon.
I'm making me some of these kids.
Really into it.
Because we went to the Pokemon.
No,
Is that you on the left?
YouTube did it, right?
no.
If you play the
I didn't
Game
talk
Boy
about Pokemon with kids in
and you
school.
play cards and you see the TV show, it's
Okay,
funny 'cause you have
it's fine. But I see Megan's mic still hasn't sorted.
Ah,
fighting and
I was hoping maybe the next day it would be a little bit better. Which I mean, less than half an hour
your attack is higher.
before you became unintelligible for a moment.
You have a link cable, you can link up, and then you guys got a battle map each other on the game. You can fight or trade. It's a good way to collect 150 with your friends.
It's okay, Megan.
Most of the
Keep on talking. If it becomes too unintelligible, I'll just bring you in the room and you can just be here with me.
403 to go.
okay.
I just love playing. It's just a fun thing to do.
Or just like, I don't know, play around with your mic or something. I don't know. Then there
Yeah, I
was
just wish I knew
Blue.
why it was doing it though.
Yeah, I don't know. Special Pikachu edition.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
That's totally different. It's a lot better than the blue and red. These are better formats. The characters, they have new poses. Catch 'em when you run into them.
Red and blue, the guys stay in the Pokeball and it's just you walking around. But in yellow version,
The Pokemon is out of the Pokeball, so you can interact with the Pokemon.
and you could turn around and talk to him and he like does these facial expressions.
Perfect. Catch it. He'll be
I really like the facial expressions.
Yeah, they were really fun.
You connect the cable. We need a cable. Let's get him there. He's dead. This time we're going to catch the pigeon. We caught one. We just caught one. Yeah.
Man, that'd be pretty fun just to be like one of those kids. Just be like, yo, just play Pokemon Yellow in this room and just like, we'll just record you
Yeah.
and like interact with each other. Like, I don't know, it's cool. Pokemon Pinball!
Pinball.
Rocks. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I think it's cool. This is good for pinball fans and Pokemon fans. Challenge. I just love games that have the rumble pack. I just love it when it shakes like this.
I like that you're catching Pokemon with the pinball theme.
Zaps the ball. Oh, I like the part with Pikachu in there. When he says, Pikachu! Pikachu! We got this jackpot. Yeah, you got the jackpot. Pinball is really cool. And we're like, wow. Yeah!
See, now these are all games I played tons of hours of.
Yeah, I remember playing a decent amount of Snap at our cousins anyway. We didn't actually own it, unfortunately.
It's really fun.
Yeah, you should play some of it now that you're here. I know we have new Snap now, but
The R button makes you go faster.
It's sort of like a nature
I mean, yeah,
thing,
I do need to actually finish new Snap.
and then push A.
I mean, technically I do too, because I think like they released more areas and stuff since I last played,
You get a Charizard.
There he is. You can
Yeah,
go to
and
I
it's
haven't
just so
really heard
comfy.
anyone talk about it since it came out, though.
pictures. Oh, cool.
If you take
I
the
mean,
pictures,
you know,
good results.
it is just a spin-off game. It's really fun. It's really good, but like it is still just a spin-off, you know. I'm not really
I
gonna
mean,
expect
that's
a lot of people to
fair.
be talking about it like 2 years or so after it came out. Man, so many games all in one year.
Yeah,
As most of you know, Pokemon has been an unbelievable success in Japan, where it's now in month 40 of its life. I'm happy to announce that being only in month 8 and having exceeded all the sales records that were established in Japan, the prospects for a long, long run for this property are indeed bright. In summary, these are just a couple of the over 100 titles that you're going to have a chance to see and feel and play starting tomorrow, first, second, and third-party titles. It's not only the best lineup in the industry, it's unquestionably the very best lineup in the industry of Nintendo. But we are aware that beyond December of 1999, people are looking ahead to what may be down the road, around the corner, and there is a lot of interest in next generation. We now want to spend just a couple of moments speaking about some announcements that were made last night in Japan, this morning in the U.S. And I'd now like to call upon our chairman, Howard Lincoln. Howard?
What's it mean by 1999 NEs?
I don't know.
Nintendo's focus clearly remains on the N64. We happen to believe that it has a number of years of profitable life remaining both
Oh, yeah.
for our retail partners and for our company.
Yeah, the N64 lasted a long time.
To share with you some
Yeah.
of Nintendo's plans for the future. Let me raise the curtain just a little bit on Nintendo's next home video game system, one that we are targeting for introduction, worldwide launch at the end of year 2000. The code name for our next home video game system is Dolphin. That's not the name of the product, but I'll use it this afternoon when I refer to our new system. While Dolphin hardware will be
So,
extremely powerful,
talking about the GameCube, huh?
not be expensive.
Yeah.
It will retail at a massive market price for home video game systems. And as you're about to
I mean, another Nintendo hit.
will also be competitively priced at retail.
Yeah.
Nintendo has been working on Dolphin for some time now. The graphics chip is being developed by Artex of Palo Alto, California. This company is headed up by Dr. Wei Yin, the man who was primarily responsible for the N64 graphics chip. Dr. Yin has assembled at Artex one of the best teams of 3D graphics engineers on the planet. And I want to emphasize this. We are absolutely confident that Dolphin's graphics will equal or exceed anything that our friends at Sony can come up with for PlayStation 2. Dr. Wei Yin is here this
That's true. I guess PlayStation 2 would have been announced by this point, too.
I'd like to ask him to stand
Yeah.
up and be recognized. Wei? Of course, we need to power Dolphin with a CPU that's second to none. A CPU that is the most powerful processor of any current or planned home video game system. How about a 400 megahertz CPU? Well, that's precisely what we're going to use. And we call that chip the Gecko
Hmm.
$1 billion technology agreement.
See, I don't remember that,
I don't either.
but that's impressive though.
Gecko processor for Dolphin. Gecko is an extension of the IBM PowerPC architecture. The Gecko processor will feature IBM's unique industry-leading copper chip technology. Only IBM has the technology to manufacture chips using copper technology. Nobody else in the world does what IBM can do. And quite frankly, anything less is simply not state-of-the-art technology.
I mean, hell, you use the computer, you can even make a time machine.
I've seen a recent article in the New York Times
Yeah.
about how Sony and Toshiba plan to build a brand new factory to manufacture a chip with, quote, cutting-edge 0.18 micron technology. The article went on to say that Toshiba has never mass-produced a chip using 0.18 micron technology. Well, guess what? IBM already makes 0.18 micron chips at its Burlington, Vermont manufacturing facility. That's where the Gecko processor will be manufactured, and the Gecko processor will be 0.18 micron technology using IBM's industry-leading copper chip technology. As I said before, it will be the fastest and most powerful CPU in any home video game system, period. Needless to say, Nintendo is very pleased with its strategic alliance.
You know, I do have to wonder how the GameCube actually did compare to its competitors in terms of like hardware. Because I know a lot of people say like nowadays the meme is Nintendo's games aren't really like their systems aren't really that powerful. Which I mean has
Yeah.
been kind of true at least since the Wii. But I feel like the GameCube actually did have quite a lot of good components in it. Because the games
Yeah.
looked really good.
About the new IBM
From what I remember, they looked really good.
Dr. Kelly.
So
It's great to hear IBM's chip technology get such glowing praise, but working with Nintendo is a terrific opportunity for IBM. How recall IBM chip technology state-of-the-art? Well, so is his game system. We're not simply making a chip for Nintendo. We're part of a very sophisticated.
okay, that's a bit strange.
Okay.
I guess that's the copper stuff that they're trying to like. Because they mentioned like copper stuff on the chip, right?
Yeah.
Processor comes in. As Howard highlighted, the CPU we're providing will run at a blazing 400 megahertz over copper lines as fine as 0.18 microns.
I like how they use the nail for scale.
True. Yeah, I didn't actually think about that.
Technology. I can't wait to see our chips in Nintendo's games. I think today's announcement is a great example of exactly the type of customer relationship IBM wants to foster. Working together with our customers to enable products that are truly state-of-the-art. IBM is in a great position to build these kinds of relationships. We're masters of complex system design. After all, we build the largest, most complex computers in the world using the best technologies. But today, we're much more than a computer company. We're bringing systems expertise and leadership technology into more and more different kinds of products, like Nintendo's game system, Dolphin. So game fans, get ready, because with Dolphin, I think you're going to find you're up against an unusually tenacious competitor. Because remember, IBM designed and built the world-renowned chess champion supercomputer
Deep Blue.
IBM
I learned all about that on Down the Rabbit Hole.
a number of intelligent devices that we're all using in our day-to-day life, our work, and in games. We call it pervasive computing. And IBM is committed to making our systems expertise and technologies available to next-generation pervasive computing
this time around, that software medium is not going to be ROM cartridges. Dolphin's software medium will not only be one that will be very inexpensive and quick to manufacture.
That is true. I do remember it being not that expensive compared to some of the other consoles, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And Mr. Morishita, the president of Matsushita, held a joint press conference to announce another strategic alliance. As many of you know, Matsushita is the largest consumer electronics company in the world. It's best known outside of Japan for products marketed under the Panasonic brand. Here's what Mr. Morishita and Mr. Imauchi announced. First, Matsushita will develop, manufacture, and supply to Nintendo a DVD disc drive for incorporation into the Dolphin hardware unit. The software medium for Dolphin will be DVD, and this DVD software will be manufactured by Matsushita and supplied to Nintendo. Second, Dolphin's technology will be integrated into various Matsushita or Panasonic branded DVD consumer electronic products, enabling consumers to play movies and music, as well as Dolphin games published by Nintendo.
Well, I don't think that happened.
Party publishers. Third,
I don't believe so.
Matsushita Nintendo strategic alliance will enable the two companies to explore various ways of extending Nintendo's Dolphin technology and Matsushita's DVD technology to other products. I mentioned before that Dolphin software would be competitively priced at retail. Let me assure you that this is a critical objective for Nintendo, as is the need for flexible and quick manufacturing turnaround of Dolphin software, and of course, strong and effective counterfeit protection. All of these objectives, all of them, will be achieved under the Nintendo Matsushita Alliance. Joining us today from Princeton, New Jersey, is Dr. Paul Liao, the Chief Technology Officer and Vice President of Matsushita Electric Corporation of America. Dr. Liao is also President of Panasonic Technologies, Inc. and the head of R&D for Matsushita in North America. Dr. Liao is also sitting in the front row, and I'd like to ask him to stand and be recognized.
Oh, there he is.
Thank you, Paul. In a nutshell, Dolphin hardware and software will be fast, powerful, and inexpensive. And need I say that it will also feature world-class video games from people like Mr. Miyamoto and Standard Brothers. Is there any question about Nintendo's proven track record of mega-hit video games spanning the last 15 years? I certainly don't think so. Well, there you have it. We've lifted the curtain a little on Dolphin, but we are not going to lift it all the way. We're going to continue to be very, very circumspect in revealing all of Dolphin's specs for a very simple reason. There are more technological surprises to come, and we'd like to keep them just that, surprises for you and especially for our competitors. But as I stand here this afternoon, I think Nintendo is very well positioned to take on Sony and Sega. And with partners like Artex, IBM, and Matsushita, I'm quite confident we'll do very well in that coming battle. In fact, we can hardly wait. Thank you all, and now here's Peter.
All right. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, pretty good little press conference so far. I think it's almost over. I don't think we have too much left in it.
New hardware
I would
But
assume
yeah.
so, because based on the camcorder timer, it's been 50 minutes.
But good games. And they had a pretty solid idea going forward. I don't know. I don't know why they. I don't know what else they would have changed then, because like the GameCube definitely can't play DVDs, and
Yeah.
it can't really do. Or can it? I don't think it can, right? I've never
I don't
tried.
think so. I don't know.
I don't think it can. Maybe it made it too expensive.
Probably.
Our new 13-game agreement with Disney, which will give us the first fully three-dimensional Mickey. It'll give us and the world the first fully three-dimensional Mickey ever licensed, and it's under development by Rare. It's going to be further development on Game Boy Color, N64, and probably on Dolphin. Our intent in growing in the area of sports, an area that Nintendo was never known for, has been seen with products not only like Griffey and Kobe, but I'm just so delighted that tomorrow evening, when the Academy for the Interactive Arts and Sciences gathers, and the games nominated for Sports Game of the Year, there happen to be 5 nominees, and guess what? 4 of them are on N64. And finally, we've continued to invest in other areas to ensure that we bring the absolute best in content. Working with Rare, people like Retro, Left Field, and of course the group that are well underway now up at Redmond called NSTC, the Nintendo Software Technology Group. But as exciting as any new system can be, again, the emphasis has got to continue to be on the quality of the product that plays on it. We think we have that quality again this year. It's why we're so optimistic about growing our business by 20% versus an industry that will grow by 12. It's why we'll sell some 36 million N64 software titles and over 18 million Game Boy against hardware sales of 5 million for N64 and 6 for Game Boy. And it's why we again at the end of this year will move back from the share last year of 46.1 according to NPD to a share between 51 and 52% of this industry. We're excited. We think we have good reason for that optimism. We know you'll share that when you get your hands on the games tomorrow. And that wraps up the formal presentation. I'll now bring Dr. Kelly and Howard back and entertain your questions. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know if he has the question period in here.
If you'd like to come forward to one of the mics, we'd be happy to take your questions.
Are there any questions?
How much RAM will be involved in the new Dolphin console? Do you know yet?
I think the question was how much what?
How much RAM will be involved in the new Dolphin console?
The specifications that we are prepared to reveal regarding Dolphin are in the lobby when you leave. We're not providing that information. And as I indicated in my remarks, we're not doing that to either tease or annoy you. We're doing it for competitive reasons. We are going to continue to be very circumspect. We simply are not going to reveal the additional technological surprises that we have in store. So I cannot give you that information.
Do you have some ambition to make this into a entertainment set-top box or an internet set-top box for the living room as opposed to like a game system? And also, do you have OS?
Oh yeah, that's it for question time, I guess.
Yeah.
The guy wants to see Sega, man. I mean, at this point, I would be like, for the time, after seeing Nintendo's presentation, I would be very curious to see what Sega would be bringing to the table.
Yeah.
All right, then. No, that was really, really interesting.
Yeah. a lot more on the GameCube than I thought there would be, but I guess it makes sense. It does launch in the next year or two.
Yeah, so they definitely wanna really emphasize how good they feel the GameCube is. Which I mean, it was a good console. It was definitely one of my favorites, but and I didn't really have an issue with any of the consoles that came out around that time. Well, I never had a Dreamcast, so I can't really speak for that one.
Yeah, I never had a Dreamcast and I never had an Xbox. Well, I guess I never had the GameCube either because I played my GameCube games on the Wii. So I can only really say as a PlayStation fan that I like the PS2.
I mean, fair. And PS2 is really good to be fair.
Yeah.
So with how long this one was, do you think we should like split it like we did with the first 95?
Yeah, I think that makes sense because it was almost an hour long.
Yeah, okay. And I do want to try to keep this like together. Like I don't want to split up, like it like like how I normally do it, where I split it like an hour into it roughly. Like into the streams. I don't really want to do that with this because I just think that would, be not as good or seamless. So yeah, I guess we'll just split it off into little bits like this. So we did the Nintendo press conference. I guess now we'll move on to the show floor. And then as you can see, I have like other tabs up here. So we have a fair few things to do in 99. Some of them are going to be a little shorter than others, which is why I think we can probably do all of these. But we'll probably do the rest of these in the next part.
Okay.
So for now, though, yeah, Nintendo, pretty good. Pretty good so far. Good showing. Good showing.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Hope you all enjoyed that. A look at Nintendo's E3 1999 press conference. But for now, it is time we cue the outro. So frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.